For our first story, we have update. Mike, 27 male, wife, 28 female, returned from a work retreat with a hickey. She swears it's a bug bite, but I am not convinced. I am at loss. How do I move forward? Original post. Ike, 27 male, wanted to give an update and thank everyone who reached out. The outside perspectives helped. Things are a roller coaster. I'm trying to process. It took a while for my wife, 28 female, and me to have any real conversation about the bruise on her neck. We were stuck between arguing and her showering our daughter, 4F, and me with affection. I rarely saw the bruise because she was turtlenecked up. But I did note the healing process from reddish purple to yellow. There wasn't any more discussion about the Vegas retreat. She made it clear she was done talking about it and that she shouldn't need to defend herself to her husband. I told her she could do whatever she wanted, but I was done being treated like an idiot, and I wasn't sharing a bed with someone I couldn't trust. So I moved into the guest room. Communication stopped. The silences were palpable. Even our daughter noticed. I'm not proud of that. I try keeping her out of fights. My wife came to the guest room one night and asked if we could talk. I could tell she'd been crying. She said she hated the way things were between us. She felt she was losing me either way. I told her I needed complete honesty. She confessed she hooked up with that coworker, 23 male, on our daughter's birthday. The hickey was from him. She was lost in the heat of the moment and didn't realize he was sucking so hard on her neck. By her account, they made out while doing some on top of the clothes stuff, and then he went down on her. It stopped there because he called her by a nickname that I affectionately call her. It snapped her back to the reality of her actions. She went to splash water on her face and saw the hickey. The guy made light of it and made a joke about the hickey being her souvenir. She blew up on him and kicked him out of her suite. Part of the reason she was avoiding me was out of guilt. She said she's coming clean because she doesn't want to hide things anymore. I asked her why she cheated. What was it about that guy she deemed worth risking everything? She claimed it wasn't him specifically, nor is she unhappy with our marriage. She doesn't really know how to explain it, but a part of her feels broken. The more she looks in the mirror, the more she sees her dad, 57 male. A cycle of being consumed with work, distant from child, and the infidelity he put her mom, 55 female, through. She said her family never talked about anything openly and how when she was growing up, my mother-in-law never addressed anything with her. I said her parents didn't make her cheat. She chose to party up with a guy who constantly disrespected our relationship. These were all her decisions, and she at any point could have chosen our family. She agreed. She wants to blame her parents but realizes this is on her. She apologized for cheating and for entertaining the guy's advances. She said she'll do whatever it takes to repair. Go to HR, quit her job, counseling, anything. She wants to make everything right. I told her I don't know what right looks like or if that's possible for us anymore. I knew we had our problems, but I thought there wasn't anything we couldn't talk out. She insisted we still could talk it out. We didn't have to give up on us. She tried giving this rally cry for our relationship, but I felt very numb. I said I didn't recognize her. Not just the betrayal of our vows but also how she treated our daughter. She's like a stranger. She feels she failed as a wife and mom, but she loves us both beyond words and wants our life together and our family intact. I told her I couldn't give her the answer she wanted and thought we needed to separate and reevaluate. She didn't want separation. She felt we should stay together in our home, but I told her a separation was happening. Either she was leaving the home or I was with our daughter. She consented to leaving so as to best not uproot our daughter so much. She asked for our daughter not to be taken away from her. My wife's staying with my in-laws. I know that's difficult in itself because she doesn't have the best relationship with her parents. One of the hardest parts is the shift for our daughter. Right now, she believes her mom's just busy with work per usual. She hasn't questioned it too much. My mother-in-law called the other day. She made no excuses for my wife, but she's advocating for us to work through it. She told me times when she heard my wife describe me as the anchor she always wanted. She believes there's something worth fighting for if I'm open. Despite some family opposition we faced throughout our relationship, my mother-in-law was always a supporter of us. I'm even more at a loss. I never imagined this kind of betrayal from my wife. She was my safe place. I feel numb yet broken. I'm in love with her. That hasn't changed. But I don't see myself, her, our relationship, or our family the same. Everything's more tense because it's fresh. I think this period of separation is for the best. I'm not sure about divorce. I haven't let myself fully go there. I'm not set either way. I don't know where things go from here, but I'm focusing on our daughter and taking things one step at a time. I feel that's all I can do right now. Thanks again to everyone for the support. It's much appreciated. TLDR update 4. My wife returned from a work retreat in Vegas with a hickey on her neck. She swears it's a bug bite, but I'm not convinced. I only feel more strongly when I consider how distant and weird she was during the retreat. We're stuck between arguing and her dousing our daughter and me with affection. I'm at a loss. I really need outside perspectives. How do I move forward? That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, "Do you think she is still trickle-truthing you? How would the coworker know your nickname for her? Good luck onwards." Edit. OP. Also think about this part of your comment whenever your wife tells you she is sorry. Cheating on you is one thing, but your wife's behavior towards her daughter is sickening. Greater than yeah, you don't get to disconnect from being a parent, especially to a minor, for extended holidays. You certainly don't ghost them on their birthday and when you promised to do something special for them and got the child excited about it or hang up on them while they're crying. Our second commenter says, "Ask her if she would be open to reconciliation if you had cheated with a coworker, hurt her daughter, gaslighted her, and made her feel like an idiot for questioning you. Also, if you think it stopped at him going down on her, I have a bridge in Brooklyn I'll sell you super cheap." Our third commenter says, "So you are an anchor worth fight for, but she didn't fight for you when it mattered most. Why is she worth fighting for?" For our second story, we have, girlfriend's ex begging for her back and she said she needs time to think about it. Do I let her go? 26 male 26 female. My girlfriend's ex has messaged her out of the blue and told her that he still loves her and wants her back. They dated 2 years ago for a year. We've only been dating for 4 months long distance and this is the first big obstacle. She said she's going to meet up with him because he told her there was a reason why they broke up that she wasn't aware of. She wants answers but is adamant she is not in love with him. She said she needs a week and a bit to come up with a decision and she's discussing different scenarios with her friends. This terrifies me and didn't think it would need a week to settle on an outcome? I was planning to see her in the next month or two but now things are flown out the window and I'm wondering, do I just let her go and let them be together now before I get really hurt? Update. I just want to clarify she did not cheat on me, that I know of, but this is reassuring to know that this is clearly a weird thing to be asked to be okay with. That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, "Yup. That is a sign that she's not fully invested in you. Time to end it." Our second commenter says, "If she was into only you, she would not be doing this. And why would you want to be with someone who needs to think about an ex?" Our third commenter says, "Honestly, I would tell her she's already made her decision. You deserve someone who is sure they want to be with you." For our last story, we have, Mike, 29 male, girlfriend, 29 female, cried when I told her about my life goals. Last night, Mike, 29 male, girlfriend, 29 female, and I had a long conversation about our future and was kicked off but some chatter about an ongoing move we've mulled over. We're both interested in moving in differing levels. My family is rather spread out and hers all here at home. Same with friends for the most part. I work remote, she does not. I really love this girl, but I worry that I am square peg and she's a round hole. We ended up getting onto the topic of values and future goals, ambitions. I have always loved travel and wanted to be an international person. This means living abroad is a goal of mine. I've also had a decent amount of experience in other countries and realize life is pretty similar one place to the next after enough time, and living in the US is very expensive and I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth, and am not happy where I am. But look at places I want to be and seem prohibitively expensive. Want moderate weather, surf, bike, hike, pretty standard stuff. These are my goals. Her career goals are to own a real estate portfolio, non-existent currently, and her non-work goals are not very clear to me. Hobbies aren't really her thing. She kinda just does whatever I do half-heartedly, which is fine. When I told her this, she broke down that it all means she needs to break up with the idea she had, which was that her child would have the same upbringing she did. This would likely mean suburban life, grandparents nearby, a house, etc. To me, this means that we can't really leave, but she's saying that she's willing to give this up, but at the same time, every conversation about potentially moving somewhere, every little obstacle is like a mountain to her that has to be overcome. X doesn't have a good house market. Y too many homeless. ZL never make friends. The list sort of goes on, and she doesn't want to be proven wrong with facts. She just wants to think what she thinks. I know moving means a lot of work, but also, good things just happen for you if you put yourself out there, and I genuinely believe moving is a thing that makes you a fuller person, especially when you've never left home. Her, not me. I know in my heart that my desired life would be a great life, her and a child, but I'm feeling exhausted that I have to convince someone that a goal of living in Costa Rica or Hawaii or Portugal is this mission impossible. All things will go wrong ordeal when I know from life experience of meeting so many expats, that it can go so wonderfully. And if it doesn't, home is always there. My question is, has anyone ever been in a relationship where their goal of dream was viewed as an impossible challenge and a sacrifice on the other partner? Is this values gap just too wide? I don't want to leave her, but I currently feel like I'm with someone that doesn't want the same thing as I do. It's hard for me to even place what my question is, so I hope the contents make it clear what my situation is. That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, "Sounds like you're not compatible. You both want different things, and if either of you compromise, you'll end up resenting the other person. You can love someone and they simply aren't right for you. As hard as it will be, it's better to go your separate ways now than to stay together hoping the other person will change their mind. Wish her the best and go live your life. You two will meet someone you're compatible with." Our second commenter says, "Why are you trying so hard to prove to her with facts and logic that she will be happier moving away from everything she knows and her entire family and her stable job? You don't have compatible lifestyles, but that doesn't mean yours is correct and hers is wrong. Stop trying to take her away from her life." Our third commenter says, "How long have you two been together? The fact of the matter is that you two have envisioned totally different lifestyles and life goals. This decision is not a one-way decision, i.e. if she decides to move with you, it's not necessarily a permanent thing. It could be something that you agree to try out on a trial basis, for maybe 2 years or something. You're not demonstrating any desire or intent to compromise at all. It seems like you know what you want and your partner needs to abide or find a different relationship. If you're committed to your partner, and she's willing to try the move, make it worthwhile to her, somewhere she's interested in living, and let her know that you want her to be happy and to love where she lives, so it can be a discussion after a period of time. If not, and you want to live a life of adventure, that's totally fine to prioritize, but then you need to let your partner go and figure out her life." That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.